Tulsa, how we doing tonight? Awesome. I've been having a great week here in Tulsa. I've been here all week. Got to experience a Tulsa summer and a Tulsa winter in the same week. So thank you for that. I'm growing my beard out. I haven't shaved in a few days. I'm going to grow a beard to fight off this cold weather. And I like doing that. I like growing the beard, the goatee. The one look I can never pull off, though, is just the mustache all by itself. That's a hard look. Every time I try it, my friends always tease me. They're like, "Hey, Alan, nice mustache. What is that? Is that a porno stash? Is that a molester stash?" I'm like, why's it got to be something perverted? Can't a guy just grow something to cover up his cold sores? Right? That is a bad stereotype. We need to end this whole creepy guy mustache stereotype. You don't want little kids to grow up thinking that the only people who will molest them are people with mustaches. Be out there letting their guards down around some clean-shaven perverts. You don't want that. Good to see so many people out at the comedy club tonight, friendly faces. I'm having a rough weekend, actually. I got into a fight with my girlfriend. Yeah. She said, "Alan, you never buy me any flowers." I was just like, who do you think has been buying your weed for the last 6 months? Right? That should count. I don't want to break up or anything, though, you know. I'm 30 years old, and I don't like being single. I find that the older that I get, the harder it is to meet and date single women my own age. And that's because I'm allergic to cats. They just start showing up at a certain point. You don't gotta put out milk or nothing. There's new single people in my family. My parents are getting divorced, so it'll be weird to have single parents. It's not my mom and my dad. It's my mom and my stepdad. This is my second divorce, and my mom says that she's never gonna date again, but I kind of hope that she does, because I want to mess with the new guy. Be like, "You can't tell me what to do. You're not my real stepdad." My mom and my real dad got divorced when I was very young. I was the only child that they had, and it's real weird to be the only child of divorced parents, because you have to watch them move on, meet new people, get remarried, and start new families. In a lot of ways, I'm still that original only child. And they even used to have this cute nickname for me growing up. It was Daddy's Little Rough Draft, which... It's adorable, I agree. Oh, man. I have a real religious family. My mom likes to make us say grace before all the holiday meals. And there's nothing wrong with saying grace, but I like to say grace like this. Pretty normal, right? They do the everybody hold hands with each other style of grace, like a seance. It creeps me out. You know, I'm a bit of a germaphobe, and every holiday I have to end up holding hands with the most oldest, most veiny, most wrinkly hand at the party. Just scared I'm going to catch an old person disease, like polio or rickets or racism. You know, one of the old people ones. Oh, man. My mom is the most religious person in my family. She quit using the word lucky. She says blessed instead. All the time. If she hears you say lucky, she'll correct you and make you say blessed, even if it's for something normal. Like, "Hey, lucky day today." She'll say, "No, you're blessed today." But you can't, live your life like that, you know? You can't wake up in the morning and eat a bowl of Blessed Charms. You can't smoke a pack of Blessed Strike cigarettes. You can't be like, "Man, I've been on 3 dates with this girl. I hope tonight's the night I get blessed." Thanks, guys. You are one blessed audience, I tell you that. When people sneeze, she says, "Lucky you." It makes no sense. I do appreciate you being in the room right now. You could easily be outside smoking cigarettes, but you're in here listening to me. As a non-smoker, I appreciate that. I'm sure if you are a smoker, you have non-smokers in your life that encourage you to quit. As a non-smoker, I just want to let you know it is not because we care about your health. No. We are just so damn lonely every single time you people go outside to smoke. You don't know what it's like to have to hang out with other non-smokers. They're weird people. It's not a damn good thing to talk about. It's like, oh, do you go to the same Whole Foods as me? Health. I guess we're just jealous, us non-smokers, because we see you outside making best friends for life with a stranger, high-fiving a guy because he had a lighter. Meanwhile, we're inside just pretending to text, like, they back yet? No, I don't smoke cigarettes. I do smoke pot, which is, all right. We got a cool front row. Everybody else is a police officer, you know. We're going to have each other's back when we get out of here. No, it's cool. It's an embarrassing thing to talk about on stage in front of people because everything in marijuana culture is really stupid and silly and corny. Like, you ever go to like a Spencer's Gifts or one of those head shops? They have like all these stupid t-shirts and bumper stickers with stuff on it like, $4.19, got a minute? It's not funny. That's not how a pothead would really be, you know? Like, a real pothead shirt would say something funny on it, like, $4.33, shit, I forgot. Let's get high anyway, right? Who cares what time it is? It's time to get high. But I'm trying to cut back on it for health reasons. I get really bad junk food cravings when I'm on pot. You know, the munchies. And it always falls into a very specific type of munchies that I crave. I'm talking about Etos. That's right. Any kind of Etos, that's what I want to eat. I like burritos, Toquitos, Enchiritos, Doritos, Cheetos, Tostitos, Fritos. Gardettos are just okay. Sometimes I'll get some drinks, some mojitos, put on a movie, Carlito's Way. Sometimes I'll go raise some hell, break into a comic book store, steal the Origin of Magneto. It's got to be really good weed to do all this in one night. I'll tell you who my dealer is, but he's incognito. Thanks for laughing at that joke. Sometimes it does well, sometimes it bombs, sometimes it torpedoes, you know. Wrong kind of crowd. I was in a comedy contest once, and I did pretty good, and afterwards the judge came up to me. He's like, I liked your stuff, man, but you got to remember one thing. You just got to be yourself out there. I was like, we just met tonight. How do you know? Just sucks to be told you're not Alan Grafton enough by somebody who's not Alan Grafton. I'm Alan Grafton. I think it's a good name. It's a nice name. I was dating a girl once who told me that if we ever got married, that she didn't want to take my last name. She wanted to keep her own last name so she wouldn't lose her sense of identity. Her last name was Smith. What the hell are you holding on to? It is Saturday night here at the Comedy Club. Is anybody doing the date night thing tonight? Only like 3 or 4 people are getting laid in all of Tulsa, Oklahoma? Come on now. Should have wooed when you had the chance, people. It's okay. Good luck on your dates, everybody. Have fun. My friend was bragging to me the other day about a date that he went on. He was bragging to me about how attractive his date was. He's like, Alan, you should have seen this girl. Tig old bitties. You know what I'm talking about? She had some tig old bitties. I was like, hey, man, take it easy. That's kind of a rude and disrespectful way to speak about women. But then I thought, maybe that's how women talk about guys when there's no guys around. Like, I can imagine 2 women talking to each other like, yeah, I went on this date with this guy the other night. He had a really piney penis. If you know. It was a piney old penis. Oh, man, I've had some weird first dates. The weirdest first date I have ever had was probably my first date in Chicago. I moved to Chicago about 2.5 years ago from Kansas, and it was a real culture shock. I didn't have any friends there, and I met this really beautiful girl in my acting class. And I took her out, but then she slowly, I think, wasn't into it. Like, she started to suggest things that she assumed I wouldn't be into. Like, she thought I was some Midwest Kansas homophobe, so she was like, let's go to a gay bar. But I was like, sure, I love gay bars. Let's do it. I'll call your bluff. And So I was first in line, I was like, let's go to the gay bar. We went to like one of the most popular gay bars in Chicago, and it was my first time being in one, and the very first thing that she did, beeline to the restroom. So there I am standing in the middle of the dance floor all alone. It was a little awkward. This guy came up to me and he said, hey, you're straight, aren't you? And I was like, how did you know? And he goes, look at your shoes. No. He didn't really say that, but I wish he would have. But no, he said, I want to let you know, man, that guy over there is flirting with you. And I looked to where he was pointing, and there was this guy just like really like furiously dancing. And like male or female, it was probably the most impressive dancing I've ever seen. It was like a real sped up robot, pop and lock kind of thing. And like he was just like sweating profusely. And he looked so parched and just worn out. And after the song was over, he walked up to me. And he was just so thirsty, and he was like, can I have a drink of your beer, please? I was like, sure, and I let him have a sip of my beer, and then I took it back and finished the rest of the glass of the beer. And then my date, who suggested the gay bar, turned all homophobic on me. She goes, ooh, I cannot believe you drank out of the same glass as that guy. You're probably going to catch herpes or something. And I was just like blown away by her intolerance. I was like, hey, how do you know I didn't give him herpes, okay? Let's grow up. Of course, that is the big news in Oklahoma right now. You guys have a gay marriage. Congratulations, or I'm sorry, depending on your political beliefs. When most people take up the religious argument against gay marriage, they'll say stuff like, well, it was Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, which that's fine if that's how you feel, I guess, but what if you're into evolution and science, but still against gay rights, It was Cro-Magnons and Neanderthals, not some guy's balls. Doesn't rhyme the same. Growing up in Kansas, they don't have gay marriage in Kansas. They have the Westboro Baptist Church in Kansas. You can guess how they probably feel about it. In Kansas, everything's a close drive for them, so they protest at a lot of lower level things that don't make the news. And I remember the very first time I saw them, I was in the 6th grade. We took a field trip to Topeka, Kansas to a museum, and they protested my field trip. They hated this field trip for some reason. And we go to the museum. We come out of the museum. There they are standing by our buses with these terrible signs. And I just remember wanting to walk up to them and talk to them and just be like, just because you heard some 6th graders say that museums were gay, that is not what we meant. Some miscommunication. But everybody's fighting for rights. There's a lot of groups out there. Transgender rights, I feel, is like the next group that you're starting to hear about. And that's kind of cool, I think. Sometimes who you are on the inside doesn't match who you are on the outside, and it shouldn't be weird to talk about or should be a thing to be made fun of. And it's hard for me to talk about because it's actually a personal thing for me. It's okay to laugh, but I'm trying to open up to you guys because you may not know this by looking at me, but I was actually born differently than how I am now, and I had to get a surgery to become this way. And I'm thankful to God every day that I had the courage to do it because it's given me so much more confidence in myself and a belief that I can get up in front of people and do stand-up comedy. So a packed house, I'll just tell you guys tonight, I was born nearsighted. And thanks. It's hard to talk about. Like my whole life, society wanted me to do nearsighted things. They wanted me to sit near when I wanted to sit far. They wanted me to wear glasses. I didn't want to do it. So when I became an adult, I saved up my money, I got it done. I got the LASIK eyeball surgery. And I'm proud to say that I'm a post-op lasexual. And life has never been better. Thank you. Glad you guys aren't a bunch of lasophobes.